Number six is the unpredictable spam filters and settings. So this is a real tricky one because there are so many different kinds of firewalls and gateways and filtering systems out there that sometimes you're not really sure if people actually saw the message. Mostly we expect that, that you can train a firewall with a whitelist and say, okay, well, so all the messages coming from this phishing testing platform or vendor are whitelisted, so they should all get through. Well, that doesn't always happen. I've been to situations where on the same day, the same message goes to different people, and one of them got blocked and the other one didn't. So the whitelisting issue is a really big challenge, especially in areas where you have potentially very dynamic rules. And so you might have firewalls that are just looking for certain kinds of content, and it might vary from day to day based on rules that it gets from the vendor, for example. So it can be really hard to test and make sure that any message will not get filtered. So these are all kinds of things we have to take into account. And there's also the case of, you can think, well, sometimes people may not see the message. If it does go into a filter, what are we going to do about it? And there are, ways that you can say you're normalizing and sort of compensating for the people who don't see the message. So you might say, well, we can detect if people open a message. And if they open it, then we want to see how many of the people who open the message actually clicked. And that can be helpful, but it also could be that people might be turning off their message or their image previewing. And image previewing is what actually allows the product to track the opening of the email. So if you have an email with an image in it and the email client opens the email and it tries to get the image could be linked to a website. And when it loads that image, then you know that that message has been opened, regardless of whether people click on the link or attachment in it at all. And so that's how we measure open rates. And so you can do some of that normalization based on open rates, but if people have the image preloading turned off, then that skews the data. And if they have it turned off and then they get the message and then they click on it, well, you're getting a click from one that you thought you weren't actually going to get, that was open. I guess you can say, well, it was obviously open because they clicked on it, but it still is pretty unreliable data. And if you're normalizing the data only because you think maybe they didn't see it, there are a lot of other potential variables that, are in this list as well. So normalization is a big challenge, really. The best you can do really is put disclaimers on the baseline and trend data regarding the variables that are involved, so that when it gets reported, it's not like this is high precision data that says this is how we're doing, and from month to month we're up 0.5%. That's not going to be possible. So people have to understand what kind of data impacts you can have.